Welcome, night owls and adrenaline junkies, to a chilling dive into the underbelly of ride sharing. We're uncovering 5 scary true Uber stories, real accounts pulled from the depths of forums, news, and survivor tales, spiced with the raw terror that makes your skin crawl. These aren't just ghost stories. They're based on actual experiences that happen to everyday people like you and me. From detours into darkness to drivers with deadly secrets, these will make you double check that lock button on your next ride. Grab your headphones, dim the lights, and let's ride into the nightmare. But remember, sometimes the real horror is just a tap away. Story number 1: The Rural Detour Nightmare. It was around 2 a.m. when Sarah, let's call her that for anonymity, realized she'd overstayed at her friend's rural house party. The nearest town was miles away, and with no other options, she fired up the Uber app. The ride home was supposed to be a straightforward 40-minute jaunt along well-lit highways, but from the moment she slid into the back seat, something felt off. The driver, a middle-aged man with a forced smile, immediately complimented her looks. "You're too pretty to be out this late alone." Sarah, already on edge about solo rides as a young woman, mumbled a thanks and stared at her phone. He asked about the guy waving goodbye from the porch. Was that her boyfriend? She lied and said yes, hoping to shut down the conversation, but he persisted, repeating how lucky her boyfriend was, his eyes flicking to the rearview mirror more than the road. 10 minutes in, he announced a quicker detour through back roads she'd never seen before, twisting, unlit paths flanked by dense forests where cell service dipped dangerously low. Panic set in. Her heart pounded as shadows from overhanging branches clawed at the windows like skeletal fingers. Fumbling with her phone, Sarah called her dad, but he didn't pick up. Desperate, she dialed 911, pretending it was her father on the line. "Hey Dad, yeah, I'm in the Uber now," she said casually, while the operator caught on quick. Through yes or no questions, they confirmed her danger. Was the driver deviating? Yes. Did she feel unsafe? Absolutely. The operator described the car's make and color based on her whispers, guiding her to redirect the driver to a highway exit leading to a police station drop-off. As the car veered deeper into isolation, Sarah imagined the worst: headlines of missing women, the rustle of leaves hiding unseen threats. She begged the driver to change the address, citing a forgotten errand, and miraculously, he complied, though his grip on the wheel tightened. The operator stayed on until she spotted the station's lights, where an officer waited in the shadows. Bolting from the car, Sarah collapsed in relief, but the what-ifs haunted her. What if he hadn't turned? What lurked in those woods? She reported the driver to Uber, who investigated, but the fear lingers like fog on those rural roads. Now Sarah only rides during daylight, always sharing her location. Trust your gut. Sometimes it's the only lifeline between safety and the abyss. Story number 2: The Chloroform Blackout. Emily had been out celebrating a friend's birthday, a few drinks turning into a wild night. Wasted but coherent, she called an Uber around 3 a.m., stumbling into the front seat as the driver insisted. Something about better conversation. The car smelled faintly chemical, like a hospital mixed with something sweeter, but she brushed it off as her buzz. Minutes later, everything went black. Not the slow fade of passing out, but a sudden void, as if someone had flipped a switch in her brain. She came to on the freeway, disoriented, the city lights blurring into streaks. Glancing at the GPS, horror struck. They were heading to a distant suburb in the opposite direction of her home, miles off course. Her head throbbed, vision swimming. Had she been drugged? The driver glanced over with a smirk, saying, "You nodded off quick there." Emily pieced it together. The front seat demand, the odd smell, chloroform. Stories of abductions flooded her mind, her pulse racing as exit signs whipped by, each one farther from safety. Pretending calm, she sweet-talked him. "Oh, I must have given the wrong address. Someone's waiting for me at home." Her voice trembled, but she added charm, laughing off her mistake while texting a friend her live location under the dashboard. The driver hesitated, his eyes narrowing in the dashboard glow, shadows playing across his face like a mask slipping. What if he refused? What if the suburbs hid something sinister, a remote house, no witnesses? After tense minutes, he grumbled and turned around, but the ride felt eternal, every bump jolting her fear. She bolted at her door, locking it behind her, heart hammering. Reporting to Uber revealed similar complaints, but no action yet. Emily now carries pepper spray and avoids front seats, haunted by the blackout's void. What happened in those lost minutes? The unknown is the real terror. Story number 3. The sidewalk rampage traffic jams are annoying, but for Alex, a simple Uber ride home turned into a heart-stopping chase. Stuck in gridlock, the driver muttered curses before yanking the wheel, mounting the sidewalk with a thud that shook the car. "This is the Uber lane," he laughed maniacally, accelerating as pedestrians dove aside, mothers clutching children, shoppers dropping bags in terror. Alex gripped the seat, yelling to stop, but the driver ignored him, honking wildly as if clearing a path in a video game. Concrete blurred under the tires, the car weaving past benches and lampposts, inches from catastrophe. Alex's mind raced. What if they hit someone? Visions of mangled bodies and sirens flashed, his phone slipping from sweaty hands as he tried dialing emergency. The driver's eyes gleamed in the mirror, unhinged, as if this was normal. A near miss with an elderly man sent Alex's stomach lurching. The thud of impact echoed in his imagination. Finally, back on the road, the driver shrugged. "Faster, right?" Alex reported him immediately, Uber suspending the account, but the trauma persists. Now, he walks when possible, the sidewalk safety shattered forever. Story number 4. The armed ex-obsession. With a full car, Mia ended up in the front seat, an uncomfortable spot for any passenger. The female driver seemed normal at first, but her habit of shifting into park at every red light set off alarms, jerky stops that slammed everyone forward. Then came the rant, abusive exes one after another, her voice rising with venom. "That's why I carry this," she said, patting her purse by Mia's feet. Peeking inside, Mia glimpsed a loaded handgun, gleaming under streetlights. The driver detailed her plan. If she spotted her last ex, she'd shoot on sight. Mia's blood ran cold, imagining a sudden swerve into violence, bullets flying in the confined space. The car felt like a powder keg. Every light a potential trigger. Shadows outside morphed into threats, the ex lurking. Heart pounding, Mia texted friends her location, praying for green lights. Dropped off safely, Mia reported the driver, who was deactivated. But nightmares of that purse persist, a reminder that danger can hide behind the wheel. Story number 5. The Scat Party. Escape midnight in a rundown neighborhood. Jake picked up a man in a black coat with pink fuzz, reeking of feces. Silent at first, The passenger's bloodshot eyes and grin unnerved him. Flashing a light on mud-like symbols on his chest, he asked about scat parties, yelling when Jake said no. At a light, he cackled and bolted into woods, leaving a backpack of feces-smeared clothes. Jake gagged, cleaning the mess. Haunted by the man's deranged energy, what rituals happened at those parties? He quit night shifts, the odor lingering in his nightmares. There you have it, 5 scrapped scary true Uber stories that expose the shadows behind the screen. These tales, drawn from real lives, remind us to stay vigilant, share locations, trust instincts, use safety features. If you've survived a nightmare ride, share below. We might feature it next. Like, subscribe, and hit notifications for more thrills. Drive safe or don't drive at all. Until next time.